Naviate 0 May release for 2025. Highlights include 5 new features: calculate view only, export calculations, apply resources unit update, add resource comments, and resource translation. Updates have also been made to export resources comments to One Click LCA, calculation performance, manage assemblies performance, solving data conflicts, and the what's new pop-up that we've seen in the other two products. Okay, so we have some updates, we have some new features, and we also have some fixes. So let's take a look at the latest. So changing for solving data conflicts between projects, update of data storage for some tools to avoid conflicts when opening multiple projects created by different versions. When using some of the tools in the application, the saved data connected to the tool will be updated to solve a possible data conflict issue. The update, however, happens automatically without any notification the first time you change the project-specific data in an affected tool. If you have access to Naviate Accelerate, you can use the new Update Schema tool to update all affected extensible storages in your project in one go. But it's important to note, to ensure data integrity, it's crucial that all users working on the affected projects are using the latest version of the application. And of course, we've seen the what's new pop-up, and now for the new features. Calculations now allow calculations to be performed using the elements visible in the view only. While the calculation window keeps its familiar appearance, it exclusively reflects data from the selected view. Additionally, any export started from the calculation window will include only the elements present in that view, enabling more targeted analysis and streamlining reporting. We also have this new export calculation, which has been added, allowing users to download calculation results as a CSV file, as requested by users. The exported data follows a consistent format regardless of the distribution grouping used for embodied carbon. And we can see the name of this dialog box is reflecting of the floor level or view that we are on at the moment. We also have a new feature here to be able to export calculation. A new export option has been added, allowing users to download calculation results as a CSV file. The exported data follows a consistent format, regardless of the distribution grouping used for embodied carbon, ensuring clarity and ease of use for further analysis or reporting. Sticking with apply resources, we have a unit update. So, a new feature has been implemented to address unit mismatch errors when applying resources. So for example, if I try to apply a resource from this side here, which is of a unit area, if I try to apply it to the unit's length, then we know that that's not possible. But now the program tells us that this is not possible. So I've now selected two materials from the left-hand side in this example, both of them with the unit length. I have the unit area over here on the right-hand side on my Apply Resources dialog box. I'm going to apply this particular resource of area to these two here of length, and this is the dialog box that we are now faced with. So it says the selected type has the incorrect unit length applied. The selected resource, and it tells us the resource, only supports the following units, which is area and volume. Select the unit from the drop-down that you would like applied to the material chosen. So if I want to change the unit on these materials, if they are incorrect, then I can choose from this drop-down as I wish. Or it says, do you want to change the unit? And the answer to that could be no or yes. And if you have got more than one item selected here, you can just keep this one switched on, which says apply to all. If you don't, you can switch it off, and then when you say, for example, I'm going to say no here, then I'm prompted again with the dialog box that tells me for that second one that which particular material it is and which resource has been tried to be applied to that. And again, I can say no to that. So the selected type, if I just bring in this view over here again, the dialog box for the selected type is really important for us to know if we have applied a resource incorrectly. Sticking with applied resources again, we have these comment boxes now that's available within this comment column. So if I would like to comment on something or add a note somewhere, I can say EPD to be determined, or whatever you want to put on in terms of a note. And now you have that note with that particular material, and we can see the icon changes color there to notify us of a note being added. And if we hover over it, we can see EPD to be determined as a text on top. Now specify the preferred language for displaying the list of resources within the Apply Resources interface. Additionally, users can define the language to be used when saving or exporting the data. So if a resource lacks a translation in the selected language, English will be applied as the default fallback. So over here we have these two new drop downs, and it says resource display language that we choose here, and then the Revit model language as well is when we choose that second one. And it says some resources may remain in English if translations are unavailable. That's just a note there to remind us. And that was the new features to do with settings in Xero. Now let's head back to our release news. Other items we have is export resource comments to OCL. The export to One Click LCA has been updated to include the new resource comments. This feature makes it possible to transfer important communication between the Revit model and One Click LCA. Calculation performance enhancements. We've improved the calculation engine to significantly reduce processing times. Hooray! Users will now experience faster results, improving overall efficiency and responsiveness during project analysis, helping us with our daily tasks. Manage Assemblies performance enhancement. The performance of the assembly creation process has been improved, resulting in quicker response times and a more efficient user experience. Great to see performance enhancements in both Revit and within our Manage Assemblies. And some fixes. We've got a lot of different fixes. So apply resources. We've fixed the bug in search for EPD numbers and full name. Also, we fixed the Revit crashes when removing an applied resource on Naviate filters. And in settings, we fixed how parameters are being created when settings are saved, and fixed export of settings, which previously was not exporting all settings. In calculation, we fixed the calculation showing empty when Naviate exclude or MV exclude was not created as an instance parameter in the model. And within Manage Assemblies, there was a lot of fixes. The Save and Publish button was not clickable when creating or editing assemblies. The dashboard was fixed, showing incorrect count of assemblies, and we fixed the resources keep appearing on top on resource page. The resource filter duplicating resource material times. The message displayed when saving an assembly. Required available areas field allowing assembly creation even when that field is left empty. And we've also fixed the quantity resetting while duplicating resource with quantity and thickness. We've removed the redundant clear option in resource filters. It was no longer needed there. Fixed incorrect resource type displayed after applying filters in add resource. And fix the reference number not appearing in assembly details, and the drop-down menu for unit selection for not being able to be closed properly and required 2 clicks to open. So that has been fixed. We've also got the fixed add in multiple countries in available area. expanding the window horizontally causing layout issues. Fix the missing warning when switching accounts during assembly creation, leading to partial data loss. And fix resource category search not displaying results for uppercase input. Fix pre-selection of some resources when creating assemblies, and fix the global warming potential without changing results in a different value, then causing a calculation error. Fix the country list and removed duplicates. Renamed edit button in edit assembly to be called republish. And finally, we fixed refreshing page, changing which account is being used. So please download the latest release to make sure that you have the latest fixed updates and new features. And just an important note, new licensing in the Naviate for Revit 2025 products is now happening. So please read all about the details here on this Naviate 0 May release news 2025 and click the link to find out more. And that was the updates for the Naviate 0 May release 2025.2. Speak to you in the next release.